We have up. Next deck we have up is Taunt Warrior. Taunt Warrior. Alright, so Taunt Warrior is a deck that's based off of the Taunt quest. It's very self-explanatory. It's just like play minions on curve, get your get taunt minions on board, then you finish them up with hero power. The one problem it does have is it does lack a bit of draw, so that's why I have a Battle Rage. Not all people run Battle Rage in their list. They run two Acolytes Pain, which are good. Some run Shadow, not Shadow, like Shield Block, Shield Slam, but those are kind of rare nowadays. The Sleep of the Fishes also really helps versus aggro, also really helps versus control, because they like to build a board. Curator lets you draw into your Direhorn Hatchling or Primordial Drake. I only run one Direhorn because it's a little clunky to run two. Some don't run Bloodhoof Brave, but overall the general, of course, this series is supposed to be off the general idea and like archetype of the deck. This deck is very good versus aggro, and it does decently versus other control and burn decks too. So we're gonna play a few games of Taunt Warrior, and we're gonna move on. The last game was just kind of unfortunate. That's why I always hate cards that just give you cards from other classes, because they just like they can do things that they like can never really do or shouldn't do. Like I should never get worried about having like my major opponent having silence. That's just like not fair. It's just not. It's just not fair. So you know, like there's no ounce of fairness. Like what was I supposed to do there? Like I went all in. He got bailed out by luck. It's just that I don't like the. I know this is just supposed to be like for Dex's explanation, but that's also another thing I hate about like Blizzard card designs. Like cards like Cabal, Courier, Swashbuckler, and a bunch of other stuff should never ever exist. They just shouldn't. Is this not? Is this? Oh my god! If this is Jade, we just lose here. There's also very polarized matchups of this, and Jade is one of them. Hey meow meow. I'm a kitty. How are you doing today? Alright, so this is our worst matchup. How do we deal with this? I think we deal with this to just get minions on board, and then play Fire Plume Heart. Fire Plume Heart, and then Stone No Defender. It's lucky we got it back, honestly. Otherwise, we would have been totally screwed. Let's see what taunt we get. Bloodhoof Brave is pretty good. Ornery Direhorn. We can coin Ornery Direhorn. I think that's actually the best play here. This leaves us vulnerable to swipe. Honestly, this matchup is so polarized, you might as well not play it. That's also another thing you have to take into account, is a lot of the decks nowadays are just auto-lose versus other certain types of decks, and we just kind of have to accept that, unfortunately.
Strike.
So we just do this. I know it's not very efficient, but might as well just concede this matchup. We're not gonna win this. Like, there's no chance of winning this right now. So unfortunately, we just queued into the first, like, the worst matchup possible. We lost the last game because ball courier, you know. But you know, you can't really control what you face. And that's another thing about ladder. There's a lot of talk about just like countering the meta, what it is, like playing a deck that's good against the meta. But I'm one of those people who don't believe in that stuff. I believe is that all you can really do is just make the best deck you can. At high level plays, at like high tiers or top 200 legend, you can do that because it's more likely that you will face the same decks over and over again in that sense. But the matchmaking is innately random, so it doesn't matter what deck you play. So it doesn't matter what deck you play as long as you play it well in general. And a lot of times you just get screwed. Like a lot of times you just do, and there's just there's no filter for that. So usually the winning play is to play the deck that has the best overall win rate. This is not a good hand. Versus Hunter, you want to mulligan the quest. You want to mulligan the quest for like good early game, but since we didn't get good at early game, so that is not a concern. Axe, please? Never axe. And this is a very volatile matchup. Like, we easily... Taunt Warrior is one of those decks that can easily just lose on turn 1. Unfortunately. Oh, this is some aggressive version. You just want to draw cards at this point. We don't care about, like, anything else, really. He's gonna bow it down. We need like a whirlwind effect. That's not what we needed. So we've honestly been getting pretty unlucky with our draws so far this session. Like stupidly unlucky. Like that Inner Fire game, we only got one humongous Baby's Relief for the first 20. We got one like of the 4 things you want to buff in the first 20 cards, which is way below average. Like my draws are just way below average. Any Hyrule Poisonous. That's annoying. We might just lose here. Yeah, we lose here because how do we lose here? We lose here because we just didn't draw well, honestly. We don't have time to play so yeah. We lost here because we just didn't draw well. Like we had 4 whirlwind effects, so on average we should have drawn 1 already, and since we're way below average, we just lose. We run 4, so you should expect to get 1 every 7 to 8 draws, especially if you mulligan specifically for it. But we just, we just don't get average draw. We just get way below average. This isn't a metric of how like the deck does well. In general, though, this deck does well versus aggro, does well versus. It just doesn't do well versus Jades, and Jades is honestly the worst matchup. So it was very unlucky that we actually ran into that. And we get double brawl, which is not what you want to see here. We don't want to give up our hero power. Like, our hero power is what's keeping us alive at this point. This is so unlucky. Like, it's literally the worst card we could have gotten. It's the worst card we could have gotten, bar none. Please don't the Tundra Rhino. Okay. Maybe he can't kill us. Probably can. I'm just being hopeful. Maybe he overextends and I can like Primordial Drake. Please no direct damage. Alright. We're never, so we, like, he just can't top deck kill command. So one card that kills us. I don't believe there's another card that kills us. There's no other card that kills us, right? Besides kill command.
The menagerie is for guests only.
I mean, I hope it's just at the bottom, just bottom decks, kill command.
Bring the pain. Do not touch.
Yeah, you just have to hope he doesn't, like, ever top deck kill command. Oh, come on.
Do not touch. Start running.
Yes, you want to play very, very defensive when playing against decks like Hunter and any aggro decks. You really do want to mulligan the quests. And that's how you win with Taunt Warrior. That's how you win with Taunt Warrior, guys. It's a very tense game because you're always gonna be close to death. There's very few moments where Taunt Warrior you just like draw the absolute nuts and all the clear that you need, and but sometimes you just do, and sometimes you go into top deck mode and then they just can't push enough damage, and then you win because you can do that. I know I'm doing a very poor job of explaining the different archetypes, but the first two, like Silence Priest and Taunt Warrior, are pretty self-explanatory in terms of what you want to do, and they're very easy. They're not very well. They're not easy decks, but you get the general idea of them a lot sooner than a lot of the decks. Even aggro decks are sometimes a lot more intricate to play. All right, so this is versus Mage. Versus Mage. You want to keep your quest. As long as it's not that like aggro style mage, you'll be fine. You don't even need to play the Sulfurous when you get it. You can actually hold off on playing Sulfurous. We have Axe here, so that will clear his Arcanologist and any other minions he decides to play. So another thing about why Warrior has always been, or in a control sense, has always been strong, is that they have Fiery War Axe, and Fiery War Axe is just like the best early game weapon there has ever been, besides Spirit Claws before the nerf. And how did he not draw damage for like 10 turns? Well, he needed direct damage. He specifically needed Kill Command, and he didn't get Kill Command. See, this axe we can just clear 2 mana worms. You really want axe in a lot of matchups. Probably in most matchups that even have minions. Like any matchup that has minions, you probably just want axe in your hand. Because Hunter doesn't have any burst anymore, I don't believe. Yeah, they lost Quick Shot, so a lot of their burst is like reduced. They honestly didn't have a lot of burst in the beginning with like Quick Shot and Kill Command had nothing on like the amount of burst Shaman has with Jade Lightning's Lava Bursts, Lightning Bolts. Yeah. So like, you get easily burn people's faces out with Shaman. You can't really do that. You could never really do that with Hunter. Hunter relied a lot on minion damage. You can stack armor here, which is good because armor doesn't get reduced out by Alexstrasza. So it's also a very good idea to hold off the Acolyte of Pain, because I have a whirlwind effect, and I don't need a developing Acolyte of Pain versus this deck is not very good because it's not an aggro deck. Acolyte of Pain is useful maybe to stem damage from aggro decks, but it's not very useful versus things that don't have a lot of minions like Mage. Okay. And then we just armor pass here. Unless you play a Taunt minion. Okay. It's armor passed. Armor pass. That might be Mirror Entity. In that case, we'll just Acolyte of Pain next turn and then axe it down. That kind of complicates things.
Let the pain speak to me.
This probably shouldn't polymorph. It's still fine to do that. We have the battle rage. That's why I include the battle rage, so we have some auxiliary spells. Didn't completely rely on Acolyte. It's great that we got that polymorphed and not Ally Armorsmith here.
Excuse me, you are on fire. Sharp gadgets and steel.
Can armor up. We might need to armor up next turn. In fact, you might just want to try to find our
Take this.
we'll play this.
The menagerie is for guests only.
Let's sift through a deck. That's pretty good. Like Armorsmith Whirlwind is also a good possibility for us just like to not be in burst range. I mean, healing can come in a lot of ways.
Do not touch. Do not touch. Take this.
I should have counted how many cards you have in hand. I have 9 cards in hand. Just armor up and pass. Once we draw Armorsmith, though, we can gain a lot of armor. And just be out of range for the rest of the game. Honestly, we just have to outlast his burst. He used a lot of burst before he Alex Razed, so that also might be an indication that he can't actually burst us down.
A game? So kind of you to join me.
That's annoying.
Do not touch.
I think I just want to play these minions here. I don't know if armor up would be useful right now. Maybe we should have armored up, but we could have Dirty Rat and armor up for another 2/6. But I don't know what other minions I would really want.
Not all.
Oh, come on. No. Oh, no. Please, no. There's no... That's unfortunate.
Start running.
We do gain a lot of armor from Ally Armorsmith. We also had two. We still have the Armorsmiths in the deck, and we have another Ally Armorsmith, so we might be okay. He might not be able to burn us. They might not generate enough value, honestly. He might run out of burn, just straight up. You might want to do this first. Yeah. Yeah, he might not be able to burn us out. Especially, like, if we do get our ally armor smiths. A lot of times he can just outlast their burn, which is really, like I said. I've said that a lot, but, like, yeah, that's really how you win. You just outlast their burn. Okay.
I have an axe to grind.
There's not much you can do from this point. Glyph. You can get something off a Stonehill Defender and block more of his damage. I don't know if he has any more burn. Oh, he probably gets burned from Glyph though. Honestly, that is a possibility, getting burned from Glyph. But he probably uses the burn to clear.
Out of my jungle! Start running.
Strike.
Yeah, I don't think he can ever burn us out anymore. We do mill before. We do get milled before he does, which is a concern. But I don't see a realistic way in which he comes back. Do we just go full on here? I think we do. He doesn't have, like, we're at 35 health. There's no way he has enough burn to. He already used both frostbows, Medee's Valet. Like, oh my god.
Strike.
There's no way, right? There's no way he kills us before we kill him. He just doesn't have the damage.
Strike.
Bring the pain.
We can still gain armor from this. We're getting like 6 armor from him, or 5 armor from if we whirlwind like Revenant Ghoul or something along those lines. We are gonna mill before him, but he's at 1 health, and we're on 27 health. So it's looking pretty good for us. But you see the power of the hero power of the Die Insect hero power. It allows you just to gain an insane amount of health. I mean, insane amount of damage. It just allows you to stack up an insane amount of damage. I think there's no way he can win anymore. Yep. I think I won that game a while ago. But that's like a good example of knowing what to do in your matchups. With Burn Mage like that, you want to stack your armor and don't play your Sulfurous and start hero powering too early, because then you'll get burned out, and you need to Control Warrior doesn't have the armor gain it used to with Justicar, but it's still pretty favored versus Burn Mage. So yeah, that's the overview of Taunt Warrior.